Time for another Blue Jackets drop-in. I'm Bob McElligott along with Jody Shelley, and today Blue Jackets forward Cam Atkinson is joining us. And Cam, you know, a lot of people are looking for things to do during this stay-at-home quarantine period. I think you've been the most busy person that I know during the last couple of weeks. I mean, you didn't get the return to hockey, but instead your wife had your second baby, so now you have two young kids at home. That's given you plenty to do, hasn't it?
Yes, and then some. It's luckily I have this time, right? Because typically it would be right in the midst of playoffs. So I'm definitely taking advantage of the time with the two boys now, and just cherishing the time, and and obviously doing some other stuff on the side. But it's been a pretty busy month.
I'm sure your wife appreciates that because, like you said, she would have had a baby, and then you go right back to work and wouldn't be there as much in support. What's it been like divvying up the duties? Has your older one been your responsibility, or are you getting the younger one too?
Yeah, I'm full go with Declan. As soon as he wakes up, this is kind of our schedule. Wakes up around 7:30, and bring him in to cuddle with Nat. Not even me, just bring him to Nat. And about 8 o'clock, bring him downstairs, grab a nice big cup of coffee for myself, and we watch a couple shows, feed him some breakfast. Nat comes down and brings Caden, and I'm pretty much full go with him outside if it's nice, running around the house, playing mini hockey, just trying to get Nat to rest a little bit as much as he can. So right now, for example, I'm able to talk to you guys because they're all sleeping inside, taking their little nap, and as soon as he wakes up, I'll be buzzing again with him until dinner time, and it's been really good. Like I said, I've been cherishing these moments that typically I wouldn't have, and I have a lot of energy since I'm not playing, so my wife can't kick me out of the house, but it's been great. It's been really good.
So no nap for you, eh, Cam? You don't need the nap. You want to keep going. It sounds like the kids need to keep up with you.
Yeah, I'm not a morning person, so it's as soon as I get my coffee in me, I'm pretty much ready to rock and roll. And this time typically if I'm not doing an interview, I'm out riding my bike to get a little bit of a sweat in, or doing some yard work, planting my garden and just kind of organizing. It seems like whatever Declan does outside, I typically have to clean up while they're napping. So it's been good.
I know your brother has a outdoor landscaping company in the Greenwich, Connecticut area. Are you getting tips from them, or is that just a thing that you picked up from them? You got the green thumb?
Yeah, Acco Bros Landscape in Fairfield County. They're actually doing pretty well during this time. But I have a landscaping company that helps me out. But my brothers were the ones who found them and just recommended the group out here, MJ Design. But I can't keep still. So when they're not here, they're only here once a week. I tend to go pick up some stuff that, whether it's some branches that have fallen or blowing some leaves that are scattered around the property, and just stuff like that to keep me busy.
I had a neighbor that was from Boston. I know you lived in the Boston area there when you went to Boston College. Do you double cut your grass like Fenway?
No, but I made sure that they cut it. They made that mistake the first time last year, and obviously the first cut this year, which was over a month ago, they didn't cut it short enough. So I had to tell the boss to go a blade shorter, and he's learned his lesson. So that's strike two, right?
Yeah.
Don't want it. You didn't not getting any designs put in it or anything? Not fancy, just regular?
Nah, just keeping it casual, keeping it clean, clean cut.
No Blue Jackets logo across the front lawn?
No, not yet. If we were in playoffs, maybe I'd do something crazy, but no. Once I take over and I eventually might get a ride-on lawnmower, I'll do something and send you a nice picture.
Hey, I got to ask, Bob, before you jump in, Cam, did you cut your own hair, or how'd you get your haircut? You look pretty clean cut to me.
I had my wife trim me up a little bit.
Nice work.
Yeah, she did a good job. I can't really move around because if I go up or down, you'll see the poorly done job she did. But no, it looks good. Nice clean cut.
Take almost anything when it comes to that these days, right?
Look at us. Bob.
Obviously, we haven't, but we should.
Yeah.
Jody, we should have gone to Cam's house and done the interview. Maybe we could have gotten a haircut with the interview.
Maybe next time.
Yep. $50 an hour, boys. $50 an
Oh
hour.
yeah, you are a businessman, aren't you, Ken?
I am.
Hey, you mentioned getting a chance to go out and ride the bike a little bit and do a little bit of the yard work. Are you getting the whole family outside to walks or anything like that too?
Yeah, no, it seems like every day is a little bit different, but we've definitely take walks around the block. It seemed like the first time we went for a little walk, Declan didn't want to go past the driveway. So it really depends on how the kids are feeling. But Nat just today was her 6 week checkup, so she got cleared to do some workouts and stuff like that. So she's excited for that. But yeah, it's when the weather's nice, Declan loves being outside, and obviously I do too. So we take advantage of that as much as possible.
We're talking about how great it is that you're able to be at home and all of that, but actually, if you go back to when Caden was born, you had a bit of a scare there with everything that went on. First of all, going to the hospital at a time that a pandemic is happening is a little bit scary. I remember talking to you right before that, and you were, not trying not to be too worried about it, but obviously there's some angst, and then you had a little bit of a situation afterwards. It turned out great, but what were those few days like for you, having a new child and then having to wait and make sure that everything was okay?
Yeah, I guess the word I want to use. I can't really say it on the air, but it was pretty crazy. I mean, for the most part, I've been the only one going out and getting some groceries and running, whatever errands we had to do at the time. But other than that, going to the doctor, the weekly checkup, she really hasn't left the house before we went to the hospital. So, 2 days after, you obviously very excited that Caden was born healthy and everything was good on Nat's end and Caden's end. But when she got sick, it was definitely scary because, she didn't know if she's still breastfeeding, right? So she didn't know if that was going to transfer to, Caden and what was going to happen in that sort of aspect. And it was pretty much a 48-hour little flu bug. She had 103.7 fever, and really couldn't move from the couch, had the sweats and the hot and cold flashes. And, luckily she got tested and came back negative. But the biggest worry was, like I said, giving it to Caden or Declan. And sure enough, 3 days later, Declan came down with it. And that was, I knew now, she's healthy, and I knew that she would overcome it, whatever it was. And with Declan, it was really scary just because he can't talk to you, right? He's crying hysterically, and you're checking his temperature, and it was at pretty much 104 and pretty much foaming at the mouth. And it was the worst part was Nat had Caden's first week checkup, so she had to go to our pediatrician with Caden, and so I'm stuck home with Declan, and he's all he wanted was mama, right? Mama, mama, mama. And typically anything that works to keep him busy or to keep him distracted didn't work. And it was like the first time in my life I felt I was I couldn't control the situation. So it was pretty stressful. But the way that we looked at it was, we know that Declan is very healthy, and the fact that Nat kind of it was a quick 48 hour, and we just had to battle that the 48 hours. And sure enough, it was like clockwork. As soon as 48 hours passed, he was back to normal. But those it seemed like it was a month. That hour that Nat was gone seemed like an eternity. So I'm just happy that everyone is feeling good and back to normal.
Well, we're happy to hear that, Cam. That's a stressful situation. And just getting back to your day-to-day life and what you've been doing. A lot of the athletes right now, a lot of hockey players aren't able to get on the ice, but you have the good fortune of owning a mini ice arena, a facility. You've been able to get out there and skate or spend any time at the Battery?
Yeah, I just grabbed my hockey gear, actually, believe it or not. And I went up there one time. I don't want to overdo it right now. So if I could get up there twice a week at night when everyone's sleeping, just to kind of mess around and get the hands and stuff going, I'm going to be doing that. I actually been training at my trainer's house, which in the summer, right in Hillier, which is about 5 minutes away. It's in a detached garage, a barn. So I'm in full control of the situation. You know, no one else is there. So I really don't interact with anyone. But yeah, the battery, it's I'm in a pretty cool situation where I can go up there whenever I want and skate and get a good sweat and just get back on the ice.
Yeah, that's pretty lucky. I mean, do you get that little Zamboni fired up too, or do you leave that to the guys that work there?
I mean, I make sure the boys know I'm coming before and get me a fresh, clean cut. I don't want to break anything and set us back even further.
For anyone that's been up there, you've seen the, it's just, I mean, it almost looks like a play car, like a child's play car. It's a tiny Zamboni in that little rink, but they do a great job up there. It would be fun to drive it though, wouldn't it?
One of these days, you and I, once it's all said and done, me, you, and Bobby can go up there and mess around with the Zamboni.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
You know, Cam, you're always involved outside of hockey in different things. You have a foundation, you know, always trying to help out those that are on the front lines of, you know, the military and frontline people, all of that kind of stuff. And this pandemic hasn't changed that. You're still out there, you're still doing things. And one of the things that you have coming up here over the course of the next couple of weeks is this virtual 5K. Can you tell me a little bit about the whole idea with this, and then, you know, how you came up with the idea, and then exactly what people can do to become involved in it, and, you know, what you're going to do with the proceeds that you raise from this?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, different circumstances this year. We're not going to be able to do the Cam's Carnival that we did up at the Battery last summer. We had some pretty cool plans to rent out Top Golf this year, but we'll be next summer for sure. But one of our partners, Mark Gernert's wife, Amanda, came up with the idea. She saw that this one company, Endo Monkey, started these virtual 5Ks, and what's great about it is you can be anywhere in the world, and it's cheap, and you don't even need to participate. You can just donate if you don't want to partake, like you, Jody. I know you probably
yeah. No, I'm going to partake. Cam. I'm going to try the virtual 5K.
Yeah. So essentially, you know, it's June 4th through the 7th. You can run, you can walk, you can bike, you can even rollerblade. I'll probably do one of the rollerblading or the biking just to kind of cruise through it a little easier and quicker. But it's from June 4th to the 7th. So you have up until the end of May to sign up, really. And if you sign up in that time, you get one of these shirts that I'm wearing right now, which is kind of cool. You know, one of these
nice
5Ks.
Did you design that?
We had a couple guys. Well, this is the flag is the Force Network Fund logo.
Okay.
You know, it's military, EMT, obviously firefighters, police officers, and EMT. Just the colors, and that's what the Force Network Fund does, is give back to first responders. But so it's pretty cool. As we're going to be teaming up with Ohio Health, Riverside, and Dawson. All the proceeds are going to go to a specific machine that will be inside Riverside Hospital. You know, it's state of the art. It's this one specifically cost $65,000. And I guess the biggest challenge right now is just providing rapid and accurate test results in-house. And this machine allows that to happen and gives you the results very accurately the same day. So it's you know, it's going to take care and keep a lot of healthcare providers as well as patients safe, and you know, this is something I wanted to do just because, you know, they're keeping the doctors, nurses, and healthcare workers are keeping us all safe during these tough times, and you know, they're on the front lines battling this thing every single day, and any way to kind of help their day go by or help kind of the process, I'm willing to do so. We've raised around close to $20,000 so far. If you want to donate or participate, you go to fnf5k.com, which is Force Network Fund 5k.com, FNF5K. There will be a link that you click on. It'll direct you right to the page where you can sign up or just donate. So it's been really positive. We've had a decent amount of players sign up. Just trying to get the word out. Essentially, like I said, it's pretty cool. You could be anywhere in the world, and knowing that your donation or your participation is going to a great cause and helping these healthcare workers and doctors and nurses out. So yeah, I'm excited to be a part of this.
I'll tell you one thing I like is you get like 3 days to complete it, right? You don't have to go just do it in one shot.
Yeah, you don't have the 12 minutes, 2-mile run under 12 minutes. So it's you could take your time. Everyone's obviously is on their own path, own page, and if you received the shirt, while you're doing it, we want you to post on your social media platforms and tag FNF5K, and we'll be sending out some medals and some other autographed items for everyone that's signed up. So it's pretty cool. Ohio Health is pretty big in Columbus, so for them to team up with me, it's I'm just very honored and knowing that this machine is going to save a lot of lives.
And you have until when to actually register? What's the last day to register for this camp?
I believe it's May 31st is the last day that you haven't, if you want to receive, the shirt and some other swag that comes with it. I believe you can still sign up after that until, June 3rd. You just don't receive, the cool items.
How much do you enjoy doing those kind of things and giving back? That's really what it's about. It's not about the event. It's about what you get out of the event and the way you're able to give back to the community.
Yeah, I mean, that's why, my uncle and I started this foundation. We wanted to, give, well, I'll start off by just saying my brothers and my mom and dad taught us at such a young age to give back, and, just the philanthropy side of it, and knowing that, whether it's $1 or, $100 to whatever, it's all going to a good cause for whatever reason, and it's going to change a lot of lives, and essentially that's what it's all about. So, my 2 younger brothers are volunteer firefighters, and my uncle's kids, who are my cousins, are in the military. One just got deployed actually 3 days ago. So he's gone for 4 months, and he just had a baby boy. So imagine, it'd be like my situation, me going away for 3 to 4 months. It's just scary times, but 100% of the profits that we've raised over the last 5 years, I think it's close to around $400,000, has all gone out. We have no one on salary, no one making, a penny off what we're doing. It just, makes me excited, knowing that it's going to really good things that will hopefully change people's lives and help people out in tough times like right now. Giving money back to the people that are on the front lines, like I said, and allow us to do what we do on a daily basis. So it's, military, first responders, firefighters, EMT, doctors, nurses, police officers, that sort of thing. And, if I could give back to a lot other people, I would, but this is kind of what we're focused on right now.
Yeah, it's a spectacular focus, Cam. And what I think is it's so easy not to do, but for you to step up and do it and be a leader and realizing your platform, hats off to you and your foundation. What are some of you must be getting some tremendous feedback. I mean, are you being moved ways from some of the stories you're hearing from where you're impacting people?
Yeah, well, initially, we were trying to figure out who to really team up with, my foundation, and what we were going to do with all the money. Initially, we were going to, give back to just for PPE, which is personal protective equipment, all the masks and gloves and whatever protective equipment that, the hospitals and whatnot are running out of. I think this kind of hits home just because it's Riverside Hospital is where my wife gave birth to both of our kids. It's 10 minutes away from my house. It's and just knowing that this machine is state of the art and it's going to save a lot of lives. It's that at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. I haven't really heard any crazy stories. I mean, this kind of just the teaming up with Ohio Health and Dawson is come about in the last 48 hours, really. So we're still trying to figure out logistics, but knowing that they're going to back me up and start promoting it. This is really the first interview I've done where I've discussed who I've teamed up with and that sort of thing. So it's I'm just happy to partake and do my job and give back to a great cause.
Awesome.
Well, before we let you go, I wanted to ask you about the possibility of a return to work at some time this summer. There's been, there's a lot of talk. Right now, the talk is whether or not there's going to be a draft in June before the season is finished. Can the season be finished? All of that. What are you hearing as a player, or what are you hearing, and what are you what do you hope to hear at some point that you can start to actually kind of plan for yourself in the next few weeks or months?
Yeah, I mean, you guys know just as much as I do. There's just so much speculation and unknown that, I think for the most part, we need to really figure out, from a health standpoint, if this is the right thing to do. Obviously, everyone wants to play. There's no question about that. But to what extent, to what risk are we all willing to sacrifice? Obviously, having a family now, it's a little bit different circumstances. So if it's safe, listen, I'm all for it. But I think like I said, there's just so much unknown that it'd be nice to have a little bit more direction, because every day is a different day, with all the healthcare organizations coming together and trying to figure out how to come up with a vaccine, which I know is not an easy task, but we have a lot of smart, doctors and scientists and whatnot kind of putting their heads together. So it's hard for me to really say, just because, I would love to play, but I also don't want to put myself at risk or my family at risk, just to, obviously, play hockey. Really, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So family is the most important thing in this world, and I don't want to jeopardize that for anything.
Well, I think we're all on board with that same thing there. Safety is the top priority, and trying to figure it out. And yeah, we're all just sitting here waiting. We've been waiting for about 6 weeks. And, a couple times you said everything's different from day to day. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I feel like every day is the exact same as the day before. I have to check the calendar and see what day it is half the time. I got to look at my phone and see, oh, this is actually Wednesday or Thursday. I didn't even know what day it was.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It's pretty wild. I mean, it feels like it keeps getting colder and colder, which is not good. I want to be able to. I just bought a couple, inflatable pools for the backyard to test out, and I want to test it out. I need this weather to start heating up. But I'm doing whatever I can over here to stay in shape, and Jody firsthand. It's you don't want to get too overzealous and get on the ice, way in advance, and then all of a sudden it's 4 months, 5 months down the road, you're still wondering what's going to happen. So I've skated one time. I definitely want to get back on the ice, but I don't want to overdo it, right away.
Yeah, that's hard. I mean, and especially with not knowing, that's the hardest part for everyone. But for a professional athlete, you really do have to step back, don't you?
Yeah, it's just unknown times. These are situations that have never really happened in this world before. So I'm definitely not a doctor. I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but I do know, like I said, family's most important. So when we get the okay to play, that it's safe, I'm all for it. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Hey, Bob, you talked about every day is the same. I have moments during the day where I'm like, should I brush my teeth? And that's that's one of the moments of my days. But I want to say, Cam, thanks for doing this virtual 5K. You know what? It's something to get our minds off things. It's something to get active, which I think is important, and I know you do too. But also, it's an impactful thing in our community. So to you, from Bob and I and all the Blue Jackets and the fans, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. You guys all know what to do. You know where to go to sign up and participate or donate. So hopefully you guys all do that.
Cam, thank you very much. Stay safe. Best to you and Natalie and the kids, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Thanks for having me, guys.